I'm in love with my father and I don't know what to do.
This lady claims that she's in love with her own father, and she confessed that both of them have been involved in a lot of indecent activities. For this reason, she has been finding it difficult to be in a relationship with other men because no one satisfies her like her father. What do you think? Leave a comment and watch the full video. Thanks.
I'm in love with my father and I don't know what to do. The kind of love I have towards this man is not the type you have towards a parent. It is that type that you have towards a lover. I know it is wrong, but before you judge me, please hear me out. I grew up in a household where it was just my dad and I. Although my mom was in the picture, but she passed. I think I lost her around the age of 6 years. So from that moment onward, it was just my dad. Although there were times we had maids, but these maids stayed 6 months, 1 year, a year plus, and they ended up leaving. So my dad was left with the responsibility of taking care of me alone. So the moment when I turned 15, I started seeing my monthly flow. My dad was the one that helped me through that process. He showed me how to wear pad, gave me lectures on the do's and the don'ts of seeing your monthly flow, told me that, oh, now that I'm seeing my monthly flow, I'm already a woman. Once a man touches you, you're already pregnant. You know, those kind of thing. So he just gave me lectures. The nights where I will have menstrual cramps. My dad was literally there for me, long story short. He did every single thing that a mother and a father would do. So when I entered SS2, that was when I started noticing some negative behavioral changes from my dad. Although as at that time, I didn't suspect anything because I trust this man. This is my father, the only parent that I knew, right? So now there was this particular evening, I was in my room doing my assignment and my dad came in and said he wanted to talk to me, wanted to tell me something. Okay, daddy, what is it? Because I'm free with this man, right? Then he asked me, he said, now that I'm in SS2, he knows that I might be liking guys in school, or is there any guy, any boy that is liking me? Of which my father was correct. That kind of likeness you have towards a particular boy in school, that young teenage likeness. Yeah, that was what I was experiencing at that time. So I told my daddy yes. Then my dad said that the likeness I'm having towards that guy, I should find a way to kill it because it's not going to do me any good. That the only man that I'm permitted to like in my life is him. That he is my father, he knows what is best for me and he cannot hurt me. So after that day, the conversation, I found a way to kill the feelings I had for that guy because I trusted my father and I felt okay for my father to come and be telling me this thing. That means he's right. When I entered SS3 first term, that was the period my father touched me for the first time. So that day I was getting ready for my work, reading and all of those things, and I needed help with a particular subject. I can't really remember the subject. So I went to the person that I know, only my dad, right? Then I asked him some certain questions. Then he was explaining the thing to me. Then all of a sudden he looked at me and said, you look so much like your mother. I'm like, I didn't say anything because it was just like, it was like, you look so much like your mother. You remind me so much of her. Like you have her features. My father was just telling me yappy, telling me all about my mom. And I felt it was like a normal, regular conversation that a child and a father will have. But before my father started doing something that was funny. Okay, here's what happened. After I finished talking about how I look so much like my mom, he still went ahead to say in bodily features. When I mean bodily features, including the upper part of my body and the lower part of my body, to the point that this man started touching it. He wanted to see it. Maybe it looked exactly like that of his wife. I don't know if I'm making sense. And he was doing this, I felt slightly uncomfortable, but there was nothing I could do because this was my daddy, right? This man went ahead to say, oh, you look so much like your mom. Like he was saying this thing while he was touching the upper part of my body. Then he said, why is it so strong? When I say upper part of my body, you guys understand that's my boobs, right? I was like, why is it so strong? Why is it hard? You know what? You need to be massaging it so that, I remember vividly, that's what this man said. You need to be massaging it so that it won't be hard because, when you don't massage it, chances of you having breast cancer is high. So from today, I will be the only one that will massage it for you. Like I said before, I felt slightly uncomfortable, but I was not understanding what was happening at the same time. So from that day, if I come back from school, I'll go to my dad and he will help me massage it. At first, it felt a kind of weird and a little bit uncomfortable, but over time, I started liking it. Like it started feeling good. Please, you guys don't look at me like that because it's not my fault. It's the situation I found myself. So this whole thing that my dad of massaging my upper body continued till I entered the university, of which my father didn't even let me go and apply in a university that was so far from where we resided. He did it, like he made it possible that the university I had admission into that I got my admission into was very close to, everyone's. By the time I entered the university, the act of my father massaging my boobs only has moved from that to us doing the actual thing, which is having sexual intercourse. Like, this relationship between my father continued for a while till I got to year 2 in my university. That was when I met a guy. When me and this guy started off as classmates, friends. Over time, he entered into a relationship, of which I wasn't even liking the guy the way I was supposed to like him. Anytime I want to do something with the guy that's my boyfriend, I'm always seeing my father in my head. So long story short, I couldn't keep up that relationship with the guy because he wasn't meeting the standard. Like, I started comparing him to my father. I don't know, I'm going to say it in my head. I started comparing this guy to my father in terms of the way he touched me, the bedroom activities, the way he gave me money, every single thing. The guy didn't meet up to the standard that my father has already set for me, so I had to break up with him. Like, I couldn't keep relationship with different guys. If I go into a relationship with guys, I find myself comparing them to my dad. So long story short, I ended up breaking up with them. This period that I dated this guy, my father got to find out one particular time. I could see the way he acted. He shouted. Me and him had courage. Was telling him that why should I start dating anybody that is not enough for me, that he has played the role. He's playing the role of a father. He's playing the role of a lover. That what do I need other men for? So this whole thing was part of the reason why I couldn't keep regular relationships. Moving forward, I graduated from the university and I got a job. Everything was moving fine, but the relationship I was having with my father still hasn't stopped. Like, it continued to the point that if I've not seen this man in a week, I won't get myself. Like, we do it on a regular basis, but each and every time that we do this thing, once we finish, I start to feel guilty, of which my dad would tell me, oh, don't worry, it is a mistake. I know that what we are doing is wrong, but this will be the last time. But long story short, that was never the last time. So now, when I started working, I met a man in my office space. We started talking. Long story short, we started dating. Of which, when I started this relationship with this guy initially, I was like, okay, let me give it a try. In as much as I've tried to have different guys in the past, but it's not working, I consciously told myself that I'm going to put in the effort for this one to work. Like, I'm going to try to stop whatever it is I'm doing with my father so that this relationship will work. But guys, it's as if the more I try to stop this thing with my dad, the more it takes over me. Like, there are some days I'll just have it in mind that, okay, I'm going to the house to have a discussion with my dad, but it doesn't always end up like that. So there was this particular time that I told myself that this has to stop because I'm already in love with the guy that I'm in a relationship with. Of which I got home that day, sat my dad down, then told him that, Daddy, this thing has to stop. I understand that you love me and this thing we've been doing for a while is wrong, and we just have to find a way for it to stop. And I also told him that I'm currently in a relationship with somebody that I really, really love, and by the looks of things, this guy is giving the vibe of marriage, like he might propose to me anytime soon. The day I brought my boyfriend, who is now a fiancé, to come see my dad, I could see the displeasure in my father's behavior and in character, but he tried to put it in check. After long talk, on our way back, my fiancé brought it to my attention that he noticed that my father was kind of cold towards him, that what is the problem? I said there's no problem, that my dad is going to come around, but deep down I know why my father acted that way. Now, here is where it got very, funny. So few weeks after my fiancé saw my father, I went alone to go and see my dad just to still talk to him. But at the end of the day, we ended up doing it. It started as an argument. From the argument, we started doing the unholy activities. Now here's where I have a problem. My fiancé is good, is kind, is loving, is caring, is everything you want in a man. But when it comes to bedroom activity, he can't match the energy that my dad is giving me. I know it's weird that I'm saying it, but when it comes to bedroom activity, I do not enjoy it with my fiancé compared to the way I enjoy it with my dad. I know it is wrong. I know I'm not even supposed to say this, but at this point, I don't know what to do. That's why I am reaching out. I need help for how I can stop this act that I'm doing with this man. I don't want it to continue because I'm already feeling guilty as it is. And I know that wherever my mother is, she won't be happy that I'm doing this thing with my father. Please, I need help. How can I stop this thing that I'm doing with my father so that I can move on with my life? Because I'm finding it difficult to move on. That aside, I find myself sometimes comparing my fiancé to my dad, and I've also terminated pregnancy for my father in the past. That is why I'm reaching out. I'm asking for help. How do I come out of this? How do I come out of this wall that I've built around myself? This wall of not seeing any man best, not seeing any man good enough for me aside my father. Please, I need advice. I need help.